In a small village in Konkan in 1952, a boy named Gotya is being scolded by his mother because he is in love with a woman named Muni and has attempted to poison the man arranged to marry her. As punishment, his head is shaved and a ritual is performed, which angers Gotya even more. Later that night, Gotya takes his sister Gita with him to a forbidden place called Chetukwadi, intending to perform black magic under a cursed tree so that Muni will be bound to him forever. Gotya leaves for a while to gather more ingredients for the ritual, leaving Gita alone. When he returns, it becomes clear that he plans to sacrifice Gita for his ritual to succeed. Gita fights back to defend herself and accidentally pushes Gotya, causing him to hit his head and die. Decades later, a young man named Bitu arrives home and finds his now elderly grandmother Gita cooking a special meal for him. His mother, Pammy, also arrives and tells Bitu that his childhood friend Bella has returned from America with her boyfriend and is looking for him. Bitu quickly tries to leave, as he is secretly in love with Bella and doesn't want to see her with another man. But before he can go, Bella spots him and introduces him to her boyfriend, Kuba. Later, Bitu meets his cousin, an aspiring director named Spielberg, when another cousin, Ruku, calls to invite him to her wedding in Konkan. After a while, he travels by bus to Konkan with Gita and Pami, but Bitu isn't feeling well because he is now seeing visions of the cursed tree and hearing voices associated with it, though he doesn't tell anyone. Pami argues with Gita for bringing Bitu with them, reminding her that the last time they went to Konkan, something terrible happened. Soon they arrive in Konkan and are welcomed by Ruku's family. As Bitu and Ruku walk along the beach shore, he has another vision where his father is in Chetukwadi, being chased by an unknown creature. Meanwhile, Gita and her son Balu, Ruku's father, discuss selling Chetukwadi. Balu wants to sell the place because they are in need of money, but Gita disagrees, and as the discussion becomes heated, Bitu and Ruku arrive and learn from Balu that Bitu's father died in Chetukwadi years ago when he tried to burn the cursed tree. But Bitu had been told a different story about his father's death for years by his family, so he becomes angry and leaves. When Bitu doesn't come back for hours, everyone becomes worried and tries to find him, while Gita goes to Chetukwadi by herself. After she arrives, she discovers that Gotya's spirit is still in the tree and has become a demon called Munja. She also finds that Munja has trapped Bitu in the tree. Equipped with a magical stick, she rescues Bitu, but before they can leave, Munja manages to put a mark on Bitu's back. They manage to escape for a while, and while resting, Gita confesses everything that happened to Gotya and his father to Bitu. Suddenly, the mark that Munja put on Bitu reappears, and Munja kills Gita. Before Bitu can react, he wakes up in the hospital and finds out that everything that happened was real. Later, at Gita's funeral, Balu blames Bitu for what happened to Gita, so Pammy, having had enough of Balu's continuous blaming, decides to leave with Bitu. While they travel back on the bus, Bitu realizes that Munja has followed him. Munja then reveals that he has broken the curse of being bound to Chetukwadi and is now bound to Bitu, and that only Bitu can see him. Munja wants Bitu to find Muni so that he can marry her and be bound to her forever. After they arrive home, Bitu falls asleep, but Munja keeps bothering him about Muni and instructs him to look for her. But because Bitu refuses to follow him, Munja threatens to hurt Pammy if Bitu doesn't obey his orders. With no other option, Bitu is forced to find Muni with Munja on his back. They search the entire city but cannot find Muni, which frustrates Munja and hurt other people while Bitu watches. Pammy notices that something is wrong with Bitu, but he doesn't tell her anything. However, Bitu reveals everything to Spielberg and observes that Munja only appears after sunset and disappears at sunrise. Spielberg doesn't believe Bitu, so they wait in his bedroom for Munja to appear. After a while, Munja shows up and starts bothering Bitu again, convincing Spielberg that Bitu is telling the truth. The next morning, Spielberg and Bitu call Ruku for information about Muni. She doesn't know much but remembers that Muni's family used to live across the street, but moved to the city after Gotya died. Later that night, Ruku sends Bitu a photo of Muni, and he realizes that she is Bella's grandmother, who changed her name after getting married. Munja then urges them to go to Muni, and they arrive at Bella's home. Munja sees Muni, but finds that she is now old and doesn't want to approach her. As Bitu and Spielberg argue about what to do next, Bella arrives and tells Bitu that she has missed him so much, but he has been avoiding her. Bella asks him to stay for a while, and Bitu agrees. However, Munja is also there and seems to turn his attention to Bella, who resembles a young Muni. Bitu notices this and immediately leaves, and Munja confirms that he now wants to marry Bella and be bound to her, or he will kill Pami and Spielberg. The next morning, they visit a fraudulent preacher named Elvis, though Bitu doubts his ability to help. However, when Elvis sees the mark on Bitu's back, he recognizes it as Munja's. Realizing that Elvis might know something about the demon, they decide to stay. Elvis reveals that what happened to Bitu is exactly as the tales describe, and that Munja can only be seen by his bloodline. Elvis says that the demon cannot be defeated by physical force and only wants one thing: to marry the woman he loves and be bound to her forever. He also tells them that before Munja can successfully complete the black magic to bind him to Bella, he must possess a goat and marry Bella under the cursed tree. After that, Bella's body will then be sacrificed, so that Munja and Bella's spirits will be bound forever. Elvis points out that it is also the only way to defeat Munja. Once he possesses the goat, they will have the opportunity to kill it, and then Munja will die with it. But Bitu can't explain this to Bella, so Spielberg convinces her that he will cover all her expenses for her new project, Zumba in Chetukwadi, and Bella agrees. Later, they arrive at Konkan, and Elvis decides to stay away from Bitu, as Munja might notice they're planning something. Balu doesn't want them to stay there, but Pami insists, as it is now Ruku's decision, to let them stay, and Ruku agrees. Later, as Bitu and Bella talk by the beach, she reveals that she doesn't think Kuba is the right guy for her, as Kuba is not supportive of her Zumba classes, but Kuba suddenly arrives, presents her with flowers, and apologizes, which she accepts. Bitu once again loses his chance with Bela, but as the sun is already setting, Munja appears, and also sees Kuba with Bela, and becomes jealous and immediately drags him away from Bella, injuring him in the process. After arriving at the hospital, the doctor suspects that a wild dog is responsible and reveals that the dog has eaten Kuba's 2 future balls. Bella is worried, and Bitu tries to comfort her, but when Munja also appears, Bitu immediately takes him away from Bella. They go inside the supply room and try to convince Munja to wait for the right time, but suddenly Ruku enters and is shocked to see Munja. Munja notices this and asks why she can see him. Bitu explains that she is a bloodline. Munja then approaches her and tells them that Ruku will also be a sacrifice tomorrow before the wedding. Now, with Ruku's help, they immediately make a plan for the wedding and gather all the important things needed. Bitu then makes Bella drink a strong wine, and she quickly gets drunk. When Bella starts acting weird in the hospital, Bitu and the others take her to Chetukwadi and get instructions from Elvis, who refuses to join them at the wedding. After they arrive, Munja gives them instructions for the initial preparations of the wedding, and Bitu's blood is needed on the goat's forehead to write the symbol Z to enable Munja to possess the goat, so they follow his instructions. Spielberg films everything while Bella is still drunk. When the preparations are all done, the goat starts floating in the air, and Munja possesses the goat. Ruku immediately reads the ritual, and Bitu is preparing to kill the goat when Bella interferes, causing Munja's spirit to transfer to her. Bitu approaches Bella, but she becomes possessed by Munja and starts attacking them. They soon realize that Bella's spirit is now in the goat, so they take the goat with them. They leave the place, but on their way home, Balu finds them and takes the scooter and the goat from them. They arrive home, but a possessed Bella follows them and starts attacking, intent on killing Bitu. Ruku, her mother, and Spielberg run outside while Bitu and Pami hide in another room. However, Munja finds them, forcing them to run outside as well. Munja tracks them again, but before he can kill Bitu, Elvis and the others arrive. Elvis begins a ritual around Munja involving mystical salt and asks for the goat where Bella's spirit is, but the goat is with Balu. Meanwhile, Balu is with a friend having a drink when the others arrive and ask for the goat. At the same time, Ruku and Spielberg are tasked with keeping an eye on Munja, but Spielberg has to leave to take a leak. While away, he spots the goat, Bela, and starts running after it, while Ruku falls for a trick by Munja. Munja finds Bitu again and starts attacking, but Bitu manages to throw a net on him, slowing his attacks. Meanwhile, Elvis and Pami capture Balu to force Bella's spirit out of him, as he had eaten the goat, just as Spielberg arrives with the goat, Bella. Suddenly, Balu, Munja, and the goat, Bela, start floating for a few seconds before dropping to the ground. Bitu approaches Bella, who returns to her own body, but Munja now possesses Balu. He begins attacking them until Elvis pushes him into the well, but Munja jumps back out, this time knocking out Spielberg. Elvis tries to fight back but is knocked out by a falling coconut. Meanwhile, Bitu and Bella start running away, but Munja chases after them and finds them at the shore. Munja then attacks Bitu, knocking him out immediately and takes Bella with him. When he wakes up, Bella is gone, and Bitu loses hope of saving her. However, Gita appears and convinces him not to give up, stating that demons only exist because we fear them, and in order to defeat these demons, you must get rid of your fear and start facing them. After Gita disappears, Bitu notices her magic stick in the sand. Meanwhile, Munja is performing black magic on Bella under the cursed tree when Bitu arrives, equipped with the magic stick. Bitu attacks Munja, but the demon overpowers him, and even with Bella's help, they are no match. Bitu hits him in the back with the stick and starts scolding him for being selfish, asking if he even asked Muni if she liked him. Munja grabs him by the neck, but before he can kill him, Munja starts pausing, giving Bitu a chance to escape. Bitu then reveals that he has scarred Munja with a Z symbol on his back and has also drawn the same symbol on the tree, intending to bind Munja to the tree forever. Munja then starts floating in the air and his spirit transfers to the cursed tree. Balu then wakes up in excruciating pain but becomes terrified when he realizes he is by the cursed tree and starts running. But Munja, now bound to the tree, gains control over it and starts attacking Bitu and Bella. As Munja drags Bitu closer, he manages to grab a torch to defend himself, while Bella notices a can of gasoline nearby. Just as Munja is about to end Bitu's life, Bella pours the gasoline on Munja. Bitu then throws the torch at Munja, setting him on fire along with the tree. After some time, everyone returns to their normal lives. Elvis continues his preaching, while Spielberg continues his dream of becoming a director, now with Ruku as his assistant. Meanwhile, Bella is about to leave for Brazil to study Zumba when Bitu arrives and confesses his love for her. Although Bella also likes him, she believes that Bitu deserves someone better than her, someone who will stay by his side. They hug each other, and Bitu bids her goodbye. And even though heartbroken, Bitu is still able to smile as he leaves, because he has finally confessed his feelings for Bella, his true fear he can't face for a long time. See you in our next Film Flash. Thank you for watching.